The recognizable hitters of their franchise match up. Could Jotaro Kujo beat Satoru Gojo? Well, we don't need to worry about every facet of Gojo's character because when it comes down to the fight, there's only a specific set of things that require explanation. Gojo has an immeasurable amount of cursed energy, so he can use his domain expansion 5 times in one day compared to those who can only use it once. Next is limitless. Limitless is Gojo's inherited technique from being a member of the Gojo family. It allows control over space at an atomic level achieved through manipulating cursed energy. Next is his infinity. Gojo's infinity technique is a key component of his limitless ability, fundamentally manipulating the space between objects. It's rooted in mathematical principles, specifically exploiting the concept of infinity between 2 points. This ability creates an infinite distance, it's in quotes, between Gojo and his opponents, effectively making it theoretically impossible for them to ever reach him. It actively manipulates space. And additionally, his curse technique, Reversal Red, complements this by utilizing negative values in its spatial manipulation so that you can divide even by, -1 and this stuff like that. So some decisions have definitely confused me because this is a reasonably complex ability, but I think that there might be some inconsistency here and there. Just to say, because, okay, all right. Space and time are fundamental concepts in physics that don't directly operate on an atomic level because atoms are the basic units of matter, and the defining structure of elements, so they are a part of the physical material world. So the statement can manipulate space at an atomic level that I just said before seems like some sort of fluff or a lack of understanding, but one thing that I guess does help contribute towards the dialogue supporting Gojo, at least, is Miguel's comments in JJK 0 that Gojo isn't just manipulating space, he's actively controlling space-time. So using the logic of JJK and the ability itself, you shouldn't be able to harm Gojo without domain amplification, your own domain expansion, a cursed tool like how Toji had done, your own ability to manipulate space, time, or space-time, or something that surpasses all of that I haven't mentioned, which is a significant thing to consider of all of the things that we've mentioned here. Now, against that, we have Jotaro Kujo and his stand Star Platinum. For those unfamiliar with what Jotaro is capable of, say that you're a JJK person mainly, he has super strength, super speed, and super precision. He's capable of a lot, but that won't matter for the most part. Let's say that they're capable of similar attack potency and durability because, that they are, you can use the feats from my previous video about Sukuna and Dio, but realistically, yeah, let's say Gojo and Jotaro, they're just similar because it makes it all easier, and you do have feats to back it up. Now, when it comes down to it, the main things that we have to worry about is Star Platinum's ability to stop time, Gojo's Infinity, and Gojo's domain expansion, Unlimited Void. Now, originally, I thought that Gojo's Limitless had been this impenetrable barrier, which it is, but it is an active barrier. The Limitless ability, especially in its Infinity aspect, it's not a passive shield, but it is. It is also, he passively uses it, but it's more so an active defense mechanism, right? Gojo must consciously activate and control it to maintain its effectiveness when it comes to, pick and choosing what counts as a danger and all that. Not that he is not passively using it. He is, because he has Limitless, and it shrinks down the usage of it, and he's not using that much curse energy to get it going. I'm not saying that he's not passively using it, but the active shield, the shield itself is active. It's making active decisions for him. That's what I mean. Now, this implies that in a battle scenario, his reaction time and awareness are crucial. While it is incredibly powerful, its efficiency depends on Gojo's ability to anticipate and respond to attacks. Now, it is constantly running. I want to get that across and make sure that no one's going to say that, Kaleb misconstrued this altogether. No, it is consistently running. It's just going as is. He's learned to use it really well. The only thing that he has to do is make sure that he's gauging the dangers when they do come up. So most things won't hit him regardless, okay? That's the fact. Even if you can blitz him, it'll look like you've gotten far, but you haven't made contact. But against Jotaro's time stop, this brings a whole new level of attack onto the field. Because think about this. Consider this. If Gojo's ability is purely based on manipulating space and not space-time, then theoretically, the ability could still function even if time were stopped. Okay, fine, good. In this scenario, the infinite space created by his ability exists independently of time. The infinite distance would still be there, acting as a barrier. Good, all right, that's registered. If Gojo's ability involving manipulating space-time as a single continuum, as suggested, and Miguel's like explanation, if it's space-time, then stopping time would impact his ability, because in theoretical physics, space and time are, interconnected dimensions. Stopping time in this context could mean that spatial dimensions also become frozen or just non-manipulatable. Therefore, Jotaro should be able to make contact. I'm just saying that in that specific scenario, if it is manipulating space-time, Jotaro should make contact, and you know how that's going to go. I also have another thing that I want to put into question, okay? I want people to be open to this because, see, we know that Gojo can use his infinity against cursed spirits as a use cursed energy to manipulate space-time, all right? That's how he's making contact against these cursed spirits. And using that form of energy makes it work in the context of JJK, but this is a lot different than following general logic altogether. Because, for example, how does infinity work against psychic energy that isn't related to cursed energy at all? We know that Gojo can keep out all forms of matter and more realistic forms of energy. Jogo tried to blow him up and blast him with lava, all that types of stuff, but he never made contact, all right? Here's my thing, though. What would Gojo do against psychic energy or psychic abilities? All right? Because, for example, let's use Gojo against someone like Professor X. Gojo manipulates space to create an impenetrable barrier around him. This makes it nearly impossible for physical attacks or cursed energy, the series equivalent of spiritual or magical energy, get to him. Psychic abilities often function independently of physical constraints, though, like distance or barriers. They are depicted as working on a mental or astral plane or a conceptual realm that's distinct from physical reality. And while Gojo can keep out things that abide by cursed energy, that's registered within the logic of Jujutsu Kaisen. That's why I'm not even sure that Gojo could keep out the concept of a stand, because they don't exist within the same plane as us. Because of how this works, it leads to me to believe that not only could Star Platinum make contact regularly, but he might just abuse Gojo outright. But this is specifically talking about how someone like Gojo would function against a concept like stands, because the concept of a stand would transcend this spatial barrier. But we're not done here, because we're being completely fair. All right, we're not done here. The next ability that we have to worry about is his domain expansion, Unlimited Void. It creates a space where his target is bombarded with an infinite amount of information. This overload of stimuli is so overwhelming that it effectively paralyzes the opponent, and this victim remains conscious but cannot move, react, or process thoughts, generally due to this constant influx of sensory and cognitive information brought to you by Limitless. There are a couple things to consider, though. All right, I don't have a clue on how fast the domain expansion is for it to happen. Gojo can recognize a situation, activate his domain expansion, and then deactivate it all in 0.2 seconds. Anytime I see domain expansion talk happening, we always see Gojo in 0.2 seconds, but that's not how long it takes for it to start. I know a lot of people got confused about that. They're all like, oh, okay, so that means if it's in 0.2 seconds, we should be able to react to it. If we're faster than JJK characters, it's fine. But no, that's not what the case was. That's how short it could take for everything he needed to happen. He could have made it longer, but it was in the context of the Shibuya incident arc, and he had been trying to save a large number of people from these curses. I don't know, I don't have an idea of how long or how fast the domain expansion is or could be, but here's what I'll tell you, all right? I've heard that domains can be instant, specifically from other YouTubers. I've seen other videos. Fair, I'll take that in consideration. I'll take that into the fact that, okay, it's possible that domains are instant. But as for supporting evidence, I'm not sure. The characters in JJK are not that fast in terms of combat speed. That's true. So do I think that domains being an instant attack makes sense within the context of JJK? Maybe because this could be one of the things that Gege wants, like, oh, hey, cursed energy logic, that's that. And that's just how it is, then that's fine. If Gege is like, hey, yeah, domains are instant. They instantly, as soon as you do it, it happens. If that's the logic of JJK, then that's completely fine. Let's say that they are instant. Then Jotaro shouldn't be able to do anything against that, and the fight is null. And I'm completely fine with it, because that's a fair judgment, considering the limitations of each character and being honest with it and just being like, okay, does Jotaro have anything to help negate this and keep his mind in check from any of this type of things happening to him? No, we have not seen something on the par of Unlimited Void. But domain expansion to the side, I'm giving the fight to Jotaro. I'm not giving Jotaro cursed energy or some sort of headcanon thing of anything of the sort. The remaining logic of JJK still retained. I just think that stands as a concept, as how it is right now, as a psychic sort of being that exists on another realm that isn't some sort of ghost or deity or some sort of thing like that. It's a stand. It works within its own logic. I think as a concept, it transcends the ability of infinity. In the same facet that Jotaro would and could get annihilated by Hollow Technique, Purple, and Star Platinum couldn't, that wouldn't hit him at all. It's because he doesn't exist on that plane. That's exactly how I think that works. But another additional thing, let's sprinkle that in there. If domains aren't instant, which is what I'm leaning towards, if they aren't, then Jotaro and Star Platinum should be able to react to them and clean up this fight flat free. Then it would all be over for the Honored One. But that's for you to like. How do you factor in the logic of that? How do you feel about it? Leave your comments, counter arguments, and all that type of stuff in the chat if you want to see more JJK videos. Against JoJo. Keep on interacting. I know y'all messing with this because the last one was pretty cool. So yeah, I'm messing with it too. Thank you all for watching. Until the next one, peace out and Godspeed.